Marvin, the next one I've got here is the vision and the marketing strategy. You want to elaborate?
Yeah, so I would say, when people ask me about an entrepreneur, one of the things that I always, say about entrepreneurs, the really good entrepreneurs, I think, or really what I would consider classic entrepreneurs, is that most of them have a real vision of what their business should be doing, what problem it's solving. They're convicted about it, right? So there's a clear vision that says, this is where this product place is in the marketplace. This is what it does. This is, they're convicted about it. So they have a clear vision about the products. And then in terms of a group of products or services, how those groups fit together strategically, right? In other words, do they fit together, or are they scattered in terms of the overall vision of the company? Where's the company going? The reason it's important, and then that ties over to, is the marketing strategy a cohesive part of that? In other words, is there a clear strategy associated with implementing that ultimate vision of where the products and collectively the company going, right? Is it able to be evaluated? That's an important value element to a business when you're saying, does a business itself have value? Does that exist? And is it legitimate? Because it's in the world of the stock market, for example, or in the larger markets, one of the most important things that they're looking for, both from a financial point of view and also from a vision point of view, is what's the guidance? What guidance can you give? And so if I'm buying somebody's business and they don't know where it's going, it's very difficult for me to come in and buy the business and take it somewhere, because I don't have the same clear vision yet of your products and your vision for your company in terms of what the pathway should look like. So to the degree that there's a clear marketing strategy that parallels with the vision of the company, that's very valuable, because it saves time, energy, and resources to come in and say, yeah, that's a great strategy. I understand the vision of it. Let's execute at that point in time, as opposed to let's figure out what it is, where we're going with it, and so forth, which is very costly, and really reduces the value of an enterprise if that doesn't exist.
Yeah, I have seen some pretty unique case studies for my sellers. Some of them that have no vision or marketing strategy, documented. It's just, they communicate that in the process of working with potential buyers. And then I've also have some that put together slide decks, and, they've really clearly communicated where they see the brand going post-acquisition, other products, a roadmap, kind of where, the brand is going. And if it were left to me, on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being a great marketing and vision strategy, I would absolutely put together some, 2 or 3 slides on a slide deck, sure, are a whole lot more meaningful than a couple of anecdotal comments made in a conversation that's not even documented somewhere.
Yeah, and if you go down, just to jump down for a second, but one of the things on the scale, number 12 there, the scalability analysis, it's very difficult to really score high on a scalability analysis if there really isn't a fairly significant vision and marketing strategy in place, right? It's really hard to know how you're going to be able to scale a business if you don't have a clear-cut picture of that vision and what needs to be accomplished. So you're limited in terms of your scalability until you're able to address the kinds of issues like that come about in that strategy. Test it, right? Test out and saying, is this a valid strategy? I know that all of a sudden, if I can put the firewood to it or put the gasoline to it, I know what's going to happen. I know what I can expect. So let's go do it. So again, it goes back to execution of a strategy. If that strategy, in order for it to be understood and be communicated to other people, your strategic relationships in this part of the process, it may be very clear to you, but it may not be clear to them, and therefore you lose time and energy and value in the lost translation. So very critical point.
Absolutely. If there's anyone that's watching, you want to get some examples of a kind of a vision or growth or a marketing strategy, just email me. I'll share some examples for some case studies that are working out pretty well. The description, being the link to me or my email is in the description below. I think that's a piece that's often overlooked. And if you're out there and you're like me, you want to start with something, like not just starting with the blank template. that's super for me. My creative process does not work where I just give me a blank piece of paper to start working. I need iteration and I need inspiration from other sources. It's kind of a copycat artist sort of mentality. There's a whole book series about that, how no art is original, it's all copycat. So that's if you find that of any value or helpful to you, just let me know. I'm sure, Marvin, you probably got some examples if someone is really curious about it. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications about new videos and interviews. And introduce yourself in the comments. Are you a buyer or a seller?